So Assassin's Creed Mirage has officially been announced with a little cheeky tweet by Ubisoft. This announcement does a few things. Firstly, it drums up some hype for Ubisoft's forward broadcast, which will be airing in just over a week's time on September the 10th. Secondly, it indicates that many of the leaks that have been circling for a time now are indeed true, or at least partially. From the image alone, we can clearly see a Middle Eastern setting, an image that frames our protagonist, striking a pose echoing that of Altier's almost 15 years prior. It's an image that could certainly claim itself to be a declaration of returning to form, just as the leaks have suggested. We also got a little extra love with this leaked image from the Ubisoft store. However, unlike the official image that accompanied Ubisoft's announcement, this image feels less old school and more new school, less Altier and more evil. It holds itself with a similar framing to that of Valhalla, issuing a feeling of mounting violence, bloodied steel and raging fires rather than that of precision, a blade for one target and one target only. The 40 Thieves quest is definitely a reference to that of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. A tale of a man stumbling across 40 thieves and seeing where they were stashing their goods. It's a tale that asks the question of, is it stealing if it was already stolen in the first place? Or it was telling you to find a wife that'll commit mass murder happily. One of the lessons. There was a lesson somewhere. Regardless, this is being seen as some extra content. Like the Berserker quest from Valhalla, it could also be an indication of some of the stories Basim will be experiencing. As the tale of the 40 Thieves is just one of many from the 1001 Nights, or the Arabian Nights, which is a collection of Middle Eastern folktales compiled during the Islamic Golden Age. However, I can't help but feel this is an older image, something concocted earlier on in development, when Basim's adventure wasn't a standalone but rather an expansion to Valhalla, which poses the question, homage and sweet nothings aside, what kind of Assassin's Creed will Mirage actually be? This is a game born from a planned expansion, an expansion that would have been formulated from a game that, though facilitated both environmental and social stealth, did so abrasively. Not to mention that supposedly, there's also a remake of AC1 in the works, a remake that will be thrown together by flipping the assets and features reworked for Assassin's Creed Mirage. Add to that the fact that Ubisoft has supposedly stated behind closed doors that they're not particularly confident of the older ways of Assassin's Creed, especially considering their new RPG bloat and overpriced time savers have netted them $1 billion in revenue from Valhalla alone. It's hard not to feel that all Mirage is some extra cushioning for Ubisoft's bottom line, until they can push out Assassin's Creed Infinity, that is, supposedly, a hubbed game built to be expanded upon indefinitely. And it will no doubt utilize AC lore to frame this infinite live service by putting us back into the shoes of a no-name exploring the hidden secrets of a world framed in 3, with Templars, Assassins and Isu tales spanning over thousands of years, allowing for infinite opportunities to monetize, life imitating art, as what once was a framing narrative has now become a meta-narrative of corporate greed and artistic death. Ubisoft Abstergo made flesh. But hollowed souls and corporate greed aside, it's admittedly easy to understand Ubisoft's concern about AC selling without the RPG bloat, especially if Ubisoft have no plans to reinvent AC's founding pillars. Bloat works, numbers work. It's the partial reason the gaming industry is grinding to a halt as far as mechanical innovation is concerned. Better AI, more robust mechanics and systems don't guarantee sales. Bombastic action, consequenceless stories, and most importantly, what's in the box mechanics, that is what makes money. So will Mirage seek to improve upon Assassin's Creed's founding pillars? Will it take lessons from the likes of Unity and seek to further extrapolate upon a parkour system that instills free-flowing movement and acrobatics? Will we see improvements on the social stealth, complexities added facilitating more experimentation, talking to random people and crowds to avoid suspicion, bribing guards, hiding not just in plain sight, but also maybe with some charisma and charm, or threats and daggers to the back? Maybe we will see an assassin who actually seeks to uphold a code of ethics, to truly follow the creed or at least give a player the choice to, meaning that we'd have more uses for tools that aren't just different iterations of death. Maybe a rope dart that can be used not just to pierce an enemy's jugular or rip them from a building, but one that can also be used to tie up a straggler or be used to hook and pull objects to create distractions. Maybe mechanics can hold some narrative weight, reward, and favour given by a supporting cast of characters that offer nuanced takes and differentiating ideologies that form a narrative lure for the players to formulate their own ideas of the creed and therefore how they want to proceed with the mechanics of the game. No, probably not. chances are Assassin's Creed Mirage will be just that, a mirage. A fantastic looking and aesthetically inspiring one, but a mirage nonetheless. Most likely we will get small but minimal improvements. Basim will move with a similar swagger to that of Eivor, as Eivor did Cassandra, as Cassandra did Bayek. Climbing will remain streamlined, simple but effective. Stealth will be a jumble of hit and miss moments. We will see countless NPCs lose their lives, all for the sake of being on duty, wrong place, wrong time, as their deaths act as the only engaging element of interaction to be had, an interaction that plays counter to the narrative of assassins and templars, of philosophical ponderings and creeds amounting to nothing but hypocritical rhetoric, as we all wonder just how the assassins or templars have stayed hidden at all, ever. Of course, there is always hope. Ubisoft may surprise, and in just over a week we will know. All in all, I am excited to jump into a more traditional Assassin's Creed, even if it's just a streamlined milkfest. It's at least holding the door open for a true innovation for the franchise, if enough people are interested. Or maybe it'll be the final straw for some lonely soul out there to strive to make their own AC, striving to improve those founding pillars. What do you think though? Excited for Mirage, hesitant, or just don't care? If you're still watching, thank you. For more trash opinions on all things gaming, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Trash Basket, and this was a trash video.